What's one game you could name that you're glad you grew up playing? For me, it's
It's me, Mario! Hello!
Super Mario 64 is a 3D platformer developed and published by Nintendo for the Nintendo 64 back in 1996. It was a revolutionary title as it helped define the 3D platformer with its fun controls and levels. Without it, we probably wouldn't have the analog stick, or the modern camera controls, or Sonic Adventure's camera system, or games like Banjo-Kazooie, Donkey Kong 64, or the many indie games like The Big Catch or A Hat in Time. It's also managed to stay popular on the internet, be it with its iconic music or its strange ability to become a horror game on command. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about this game because, what other game do you know that's managed to define a genre and stay relevant through the internet? I know someone's gonna name another game in the comments. Anyway, let's start with the game part.
Dear Mario, please come to the castle. I have baked a cake for you. Yours truly, Princess Toadstool. Peach.
So, this game has a very simple yet effective opening. Mario receives a letter from Princess Peach saying to come to the castle as she's baked a cake for you. Yours truly. And Mario arrives on the scene. You're given a simple rundown of what the main two buttons and the analog stick do, and then you're free to run around and find out all the cool moves you can do. Now, sometimes if a game leaves you to find out all the controls on your own, it's a recipe for disaster. With Mario 64, the controls are so intuitive, you can learn literally every move you can do immediately within the opening area. You can run, jump, triple jump, side jump, backflip, long jump, punch, kick, dive, crouch, crawl, swim, wall kick. All of these controls can be learned from experimentation with just 3 buttons and the analog stick. But if you do want to know any controls immediately, they stuck a bunch of signs around the first areas of the game. So if you want to learn what you can do without experimentation, you can just read the sign by standing in front of it and pressing A or B. Although most of the time I had to use A. Can I just say, these controls feel like they did not age a day. They're very well made for the first fully 3D platformer. Now the camera. I like how they introduced the camera. They make the camera of the game an actual camera person, that being Lakitu from the Lakitu Bros, currently here reporting about Bowser's takeover of Princess Peach's castle. It's a fun way to introduce the new, for the time, camera controls, and I'm sure that back then, these controls felt like they came from the future. But they're also the controls that I feel haven't aged the best. Now these controls work by using the C buttons. Left and right change which way the camera is facing. Down zooms out the camera, while up zooms in or goes in a not so first person view. These camera controls do work for this game, but sometimes I can never really get the right camera angle that I want, or I'm constantly fighting with the auto camera that automatically pushes the camera to a certain position. That's really just a minor nitpick from me. The camera can be difficult sometimes. Anyway, from here you actually have a whole lot of freedom, and while it doesn't seem like it initially, even with the only level that's playable being the first level, you can do whatever you want. You do not always have to do what is on the mission screen. You can go for a completely different star that isn't the selected mission, and the more levels that open up, the more free this game becomes. Look, watch me go for a completely different mission.
Go! Here we go!
See, I told you. Of course, for newer players, it might be difficult to do this, especially since this way you'd be going into the mission blind, so you might not know where you need to go without the mission marker, which would at least give you a sort of hint as to where to go. Examples: Big Bob-omb on the summit, stop time for red coins, scale the mountain, etc, etc. Many of these stages have their own unique missions, but they also have 2 missions that appear in all of the main 15, and one of those missions also appears in some of the secret stages. those being the 100 coin star and the red coin star. The 100 coin star you receive for collecting 100 coins on a stage. They're not a main mission, more like a side mission that's in all of the main 15 stages. The red coin star is received by collecting 8 red coins scattered around the stage. These are a main mission in all 15 main stages, but are also found in some of the secret stages. One of those that I can name being the cap stages. These stages basically unlock the power caps, which you can use for special abilities. The famous one being the wing cap. Can you tell why it's famous? In these stages, you can turn on the blocks associated with the cap so you can use them in the other stages. Speaking of stages, these stages are pretty well made. They're built around your character, of course, and it shows. The stages have a main layout made for traversal, and in some cases, it's very obvious how you should traverse the stage. But there are other, more fun ways to get from point A to point B. And point A can be wherever you want it to be. The wall kick is a very fun way to traverse the stage, as you can do it from any wall in the game. And the angle you jump off of it depends on how you jump at the wall. If there's 2 walls, you can scale up both of them, depending on the size of the gap between them, which can honestly be huge, and you can still scale it. It just can't be too big of a gap, or you'll just be kicking the same wall over and over again. Your jumps too, these are also an important tool, as you can use the height of them to your advantage. Maybe to perform a triple jump quickly, or to gain height on a wall so you can wall kick to another area. Or maybe just use a side jump, as it's quicker to perform, and it also has some good height to it. Timing your jumps is also very important, as timing them correctly will allow you to successfully pull off your movement plan. And let me tell you, it is very rewarding to pull off a series of moves to get to the star differently from how you would normally get to it. Thinking about it now, this game seems to be a fun game to speedrun. I'm saying that because I've never really done a full speedrun of this game. The most I have done is a few successful backwards long jumps. Oh, and there's this one trick I always do here when going up these stairs, as it's more fun than going up them. See what I mean? Like you go through the ceiling and grab onto the floor above. Sorry about that. The stages, more about the stages. I really like the themes of some of these stages. Big Boo's Haunt is really cool. When you're inside the house, the camera angles become fixed and it becomes a survival horror game. Tiny Huge Island is really cool, as it centers around the size of the stage, changing depending on which painting you enter. Look at this cool optical effect. You can also change size throughout the stage if you need to. Jolly Roger Bay is really just watch this. Oh no. No! No!
Mamma mia!
Just amazing. I'd also like to thank this game for reminding me of how scary the eel is. Tick-Tock Clock, that name is cursed now, has the most interesting mechanic, that being depending on where the hand on the clock is when you enter, the things in the clock either go slow, go at random speeds, go fast, or stop entirely. Anyway, the level design is pretty good, and there's such a cool sense of being able to use your moves to move around the space in an interesting way. It's like a sandbox game, but specifically with movement. It's really cool. One special part of this game is the music, as it's really amazing. Like, take a listen right now. Probably my favorite track in this game is Dire Dire Docks, especially when it adds or removes instruments depending on where you are. I know you've already heard it. Let me just play the third version. Yeah, the music in this game is really good and catchy. Please don't appear. Please don't appear. Please don't. Sorry, I'm just traumatized by Wario. To tie the game part up, I'll say that it's really fun with charming levels and very great music. The game's controls are so well made that they haven't aged a day. Well, except for the camera controls, which are pretty clunky nowadays, but they worked for the time and they were the first steps towards modern camera controls. Anyway, this game is very good. And fun! And that's all I have to say about the game part of this. To be honest, I can say a lot more about this game outside of the game. This game was revolutionary for a reason. It was one of the first 3D platformers that defined the genre. I mean, many 3D platformers after this would follow in the steps of Mario 64. Games like Banjo-Kazooie by Rare, Donkey Kong 64 by Rare, Glover by Hasbro, and many more have followed in the steps of Mario 64. Some of these even being collectathon platformers like Mario 64. I don't know how close they got to Mario 64. I think Banjo was was it? I mean, that game is pretty fun. Maybe I should do a video. Even into later generations with games like Psychonauts 2, and indie games like The Big Catch and A Hat in Time. Oh, there's even an indie game being made by the people who made Rom Hacks for Mario 64 called Carol Quest 64. I'll get to Rom Hacks soon. This game has done a lot in making 3D platformers what they are today. And also this game has still been going to this day. With speedruns, there's also ROM hacks, which are like mods, but they modify the game itself. Many of these hacks have managed to keep the game going by creating new experiences using the game itself as a base. These ROM hacks range from having fun new abilities to being a whole new game, to being straight up horror. Oh yeah, horror. This game was the center of a bunch of horror stories for a while, and well, I can see why. First, with some of the songs, like Inside the Castle Walls, and then paired with The Situation. Basically, Bowser has trapped everyone in the castle walls. Yeah, it's kind of creepy. And then there's the eel. God, I miss the era of seeing terrifying things in my 3D platformer. And who could forget Wet Dry World, which I don't think was intended to be a scary stage, but it's just like... So, one, the background they used in the stage already makes it seem strange. There's also the matter of the music choice, as well as the weird-looking enemies. And by that I mean mainly these things. They are very weird. There's also a actual submerged town in the stage, which you can unsubmerge since the stage's gimmick is that you can change the water level, which... It's very weird seeing such a thing here. It's not something you'd expect in this kind of game. It makes you think things like, who lives here? Why is this here? Why is this area blocked off from the rest of the stage? What else is hiding in this stage? Yeah, this game is kind of scary. There are many horror ROM hacks and fan games and stories. Yeah, that's it. I still can't shake the feeling that Wario is about to appear. I know that they made a fan-made PC port of this game. It took them a while to do something like this, but the efforts really paid off. Like now, I have the choice of putting Mario 64 on my PC if I wanted to. What else? Here's my old save file. Yeah, it's pathetic that I only ever got 86 stars, and that might change later, but I don't know. I'm just glad my save is still here on this cartridge. All the others before mine died out, but my save is still here. I wonder why.
Whoa!
Oh my god, Mario just jumped out of my TV!
Yeah! What?
So, Mario 64 has done a lot since its release. It's both inspired countless games like the aforementioned Rare titles and many indie games. and inspired elements of games, like the aforementioned Sonic Adventure 1 camera system. Not only that, but this game still has a strong community of fans to this day, with Rom Hacks still coming out, people speedrunning the game for fun, and, well, people who like the game in general. If you're looking to play the game, I'd say get a Nintendo 64 and a copy of the game and play it. There are other ways to play it.
Whoa!
But anyway, that's my Mario 64 video. I hope you enjoyed it, and subscribe, and, hold on. What are you doing in my house? Oh, I was just looking for, what was I looking for? Oh yeah, I was looking for sugar. But like, how did you get into my house? Oh, I forgot to return your house keys after you returned from vacation. You could have just asked me to get the sugar. I didn't know if you were home or not. Just get out now. Oh yeah, your keys.